iPhone 5 iOS 10.3.3. Is this the last update? We're gonna find out in this video. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and this is the Apple iPhone 5. I'm sure we've heard of this one. It's about a 5-year-old smartphone now, and I said I was done making videos on this phone because it stopped getting software updates, but Apple went ahead and announced that 10.3.3 is going to be available for the old iPhone 5. So I'm just going to update the software here and see how it performs. But the iPhone 5 is, released on September 12, 2012. So this is a dinosaur in the phone game. But these days we have the iPhone SE. You could simply go ahead and buy an SE and you got basically the same phone with much better internals. And I mean much better internals here. But before I go ahead and update, I do want to show you that this is on iOS 10.3.2, the last official version. 14F89, we do have an available capacity of 5.35 gigs. We're going to pay attention to that so when we update we can see if it does give us any more space. Over here on the iPhone SE, if I go over in the clock, I am going to run a speed test here on the iPhone SE, testing the time here on the 5. So let me go ahead and close everything out here on this phone, and we're going to go ahead and run a Geekbench after that. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and update it to 10.3.3 and see if anything has changed. So let's begin this test really quickly here. I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi on the SE so we don't get any signal interference here. So let me turn the Wi-Fi off there and let's hit start. So we're gonna stop this at around 154. I did take about 2 seconds to just talk right there, so it's more like 152. And let's go ahead and go into settings now. And actually, let's go ahead and do a Geekbench first before we do that. We're gonna run a Geekbench really quickly. I'm not gonna make you guys sit through this. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video. We're gonna run the CPU benchmark, and I'll be back in just a second when it is done. Alright guys, so the final scores are in for iOS 10.3.2, and the iPhone 5 scores a 754 on the single core and a 1206 on the multi-core. So heading out of there, let's go into the settings now and go ahead and software update this thing live on camera. Again, I will skip through this. I'm not going to make you guys watch the software update. That would be ridiculous. But it is only a 50 megabyte update, and usually for the iPhone 5 the updates are smaller for some reason. That's probably because it's an older phone, they don't do too much with this software. So let's go ahead and download and install here. I'm gonna put my passcode in and I'll be back. Remember, 154.73 on the speed test on the first one. We'll be back in just a second when it's on 10.3.3. So guys, we're back in iOS 10.3.3, potentially the last update for the iPhone 5. So going into the settings, if I go into general and I go to about, you can see iOS 10.3.3 14G60 here for the iPhone 5. So let's go ahead and quickly run a Geekbench again to see the scores, and then we'll run that speed test and talk a little bit more about iOS 10.3.3. So let's go into CPU-Z. Let's hit run benchmark, and I'll be back once again once this is done. Alright guys, so as you can see right here, I do have all the applications closed. We're going to run the speed test again. I'm not going to make you guys sit through this one. I didn't know it was going to be that long in the first one, so I'm going to speed this up. So let's just begin, and I'll speed this up, and I'll be back when it's done. So let's go. Alright guys, so we finished with a final score of 143.19. Now that's significantly faster than the 154 we got in the previous round. Although there was some error, I did take a couple of seconds off. So even if we knocked 5 seconds off, or maybe a couple of, difference in the time I actually take to press the button, or, a little bit of speech in between, it's still faster than 10.3.2 was. So if you're updating this and you're looking for a speed enhancement over 10.3.2, you're going to get it here on 10.3.3 for your iPhone 5, which is nice to see that even here in 2017 they're making their phone a little bit faster than its prior version. Now it's not faster than iOS 6 was on the iPhone 5, but it's definitely faster than iOS 10.3.2. And let's get to the topic of this video finally. Is this the last update for the iPhone 5? Definitely, I think this is the last one. I do not think you're going to see iPhone 5 supported in iOS 11, but we didn't think we would see it all the way up to this point. We thought it was done with like iOS 10.2 or something like that. So, You know, it could surprise us and get iOS 11. I highly doubt this though, so don't look forward to iOS 11. Don't get your hopes up on that one. But anyway, should you download this, if you're on iOS 10 or above, go ahead and download 10.3.3 for your iPhone 5. It's gonna fix some security things that are pretty risky if hackers do get into the Wi-Fi chip of your phone. And anyway, that's gonna wrap it up here for me. If you found this video helpful, enjoyable, hit the thumbs up down below. I will catch you all in the next one. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.